What is up, Nintendo Land? Welcome to Nintendo Open Air Podcast. It's a wild week in Nintendo Land. Not only do we have new information on wild Pokemon and Pokemon Let's Go, straight from the boss no less, but we got some Jurassic information on another popular Switch title. To top things off, it seems certain Octopi have received a ban directly from Nintendo. What could all of this mean? Well, if you're ready to take a walk on the wild side, buckle into your tour vehicle, pack some Pokeballs, and listen in as we blast off again. Alright, as it's becoming a tradition, we're going to start tonight with Pokemon. So, we actually heard from Junichi Masuda himself, and I really like this. He's clarified a lot of the information that was released during the announcement. I guess probably the biggest thing to me, it's been confirmed it is going to be pure yellow, so 151 Pokemon. Some Alolan forms in there, which not to be unexpected, I don't guess so. But I think no wild Pokemon battles, just captures. I know Z's probably the one that would
know what that means.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, and that said, right, I was one of those people that dodged the grass. I get it. So I get the whole random encounter thing being annoying. And so I can understand the logic behind it, but I still don't think it's the right way to do it.
Well, that means if you're new to the series, you'll never understand a wild blah 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 has appeared.
That's an interesting point. I wonder.
It'll still
It seems like they figure a way to reuse that.
Yeah, I think it'll still say a wild whatever appeared. It's just you'll be taken to a capture screen
instead of having to actually fight it with moves. Does that mean there's basically no battling in this game? Then,
well, he mentions
that's an interesting point.
Well, he mentions later on something about gym battles. So,
yeah. So wait a minute. So yeah, you don't practice your moves. You don't level up a Pokemon when you capture a Pokemon.
That's what I'm wondering. That's
because in the last couple Pokemon games, in the last few, they changed it so that you actually got XP for capturing a Pokemon because you never used to.
Right.
Now all of a sudden, there's no battle. There's nothing. There's no XP to gain there. At least not, you know what I mean? You're not leveling up a particular Pokemon by capturing another Pokemon. There's no. Wow,
they have
I
to
didn't
have
even
some
think
sort
about
of level
that.
up because even Pokemon Go has got level up mechanics to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll have to fight trainers and stuff, and that's the other. There's basically as you go through the Pokemon game, you're either fighting wild Pokemon or you're fighting trainers.
right.
But it's a balance, and you get more XP from the trainers and yada yada. But it's balance. You do both, and so now all of a sudden, you just throw balls with something's missing. Man, we'll see when we see the actual gameplay, but it I don't know, man. This sounds like a very, 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 very simplified. Like this sounds like Pokemon Go Plus. Well, not the device.
That's what they want it to be.
Pokemon Go 2. Yeah, that's
what people loved about it. Was just that sweet catch mechanic.
Yeah.
Well, in Pokemon Go, there's a CP ranking instead of a level ranking, and you can power up your Pokemon, but you don't do it through battling or any of the traditional ways. You have to invest candy onto it. So I'm wondering if they're going to have candy in this game for captures.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting because that candy mechanic's stupid.
But can you imagine if you get a rare Pokemon? How hard is it going to be? I mean, even if it's not legendary like Zapdos or Mew, what if it's just something that's really hard to find in a wild, like a Chansey? How would you ever be able to put enough candy into it?
To do it, yeah. I don't know, man. It does.
What if you ain't got no balls?
It's a completely different. Yeah, it's just it completely changes the way the game works. I'm not in on this.
Do you think they'll have microtransactions to like buy Pokeballs and stuff?
They do in Go.
Yeah, so
like I wonder how much of that Pokemon Go stuff's gonna transfer into this game as far as money's concerned. Hopefully none of it if they are going to charge $60, which I'm sure they are.
That's a really good point because Pokemon Go is free to play, but as we've seen the charts in previous years, it far surpasses any amount spent in any of the other mobile games.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought.
Like, how do we make it popular again? We put a physical Pokeball in their hand.
Yeah.
Boom! It's brand new overnight.
And he did confirm some other things. I mean, he's mentioned there will be no EVs, that it'll be simpler to level up and to train your Pokemon. So he does mention that. So there, but again,
There will be an EV though.
Yeah.
be EVs, yeah.
Mm-hmm. See what I did there? Sorry.
Nicely played. I think probably the most disturbing thing that has been confirmed for me is in handheld mode. Oh wow. There's no touchscreen.
Your mode.
It's all gyro based capture. So
Gyro.
So I'm playing
gyro.
Gyro. I don't know. It's apparently
It's
really
pronounced
late.
hero. No.
Hero, yeah.
No.
Gyro.
Gyro controls. There we go.
Think DuckTales and gyro.
There we go. I don't know
So
why.
wait, there's no touchscreen, nothing?
Nope.
So even when you're in touchscreen mode, you can't replicate the Pokemon Go toss. You have to do it with the.
You have to do it with
The thing is, I think there is a button press though for it. I thought you could opt out of the whole motion control thing. You can probably turn them off and just have a single button.
Yeah. Well, see, the capture's based on, like in Pokemon Go, I'm assuming it's going to be based on throwing curveballs and how close you hit it. Where you have the excellent.
Great. Yeah, they showed that with they showed the excellent and the great and the whatever. Yeah, I assume the mechanic's going to work the same.
Maybe we can get a sweet like Mario Golf mechanic where there's just a slider that goes like left and right and up and down.
They could. Oh, that'd be a nightmare way to play, but.
Not if you got good at it.
Yeah, if you got good at it, it'd still be time consuming.
Or kicking a football in Madden.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think they're hoping everybody's gonna just fall in love with this whole motion control bit. It'll be cute once, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He did say
those
that
controllers.
He did say he's planning on this being, if this does well, he's wanting to continue it as a separate series from.
It won't.
The main series, yeah.
This one will do okay.
Yeah,
it's going to take another one for them to realize that. It's going to take another one for them to realize that nobody really cares. Because it's just like if they, it's just like with Happy Home Designer. There were enough people that bought Happy Home Designer because they were like, "Oh, it's another Animal Crossing thing. I like Animal Crossing," but you're not going to buy Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer 2. You learned your lesson. Oh, you're like, I would.
I probably would. I actually enjoyed it, but I know I'm in a very small minority there.
How about Amiibo Festival?
No, absolutely not.
Now, see, the wife enjoyed that at least.
Yeah. Didn't Eric like it too, I think?
Eric did, yeah. But would you buy another one?
Hell no.
Yeah.
Do you need more of that in your life?
I learned my lesson, as Bo said.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a slow learner, as it appears to be tonight.
But maybe this is the Pokemon for me.
Well,
start from scratch.
It would be a good place to start, especially with a limited number of Pokemon. You wouldn't have so much to learn.
Well, what if this really catches on, and then when they actually put out the hardcore Pokemon, you're just lost?
No way.
It's not that big of a step up, I don't think. I mean, this is an in-between step.
It has to be a big step up, or it's a failure. Like, you know what I mean? The mainline, like, again, if they take, XY, Alpha, Omega, Ultra, whatever, if they just are basically taking that and giving me an HD version, they can flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
There's no, that game, they've been milking the same exact crap now for 20 years. It needs to be updated. We're still playing a 1998 era game, or 99 or whatever.
Just with better graphics.
Yeah, exactly. But right, even the steps are counted, and I understand part of the reason that that it's been so controlled, and why it hasn't changed much is there's a really meticulous kind of fan base that if they change stats and they change kind of the mechanics of the way things work, it screws it up, and I get that. But it's time. It's time when Yokai Watch has gets the Christmas Happy Meal toys or whatever in Japan instead of Pokemon. It's time. It's and when Pokemon Go only really is a fad for about a month, it's time. They need it needs to be refreshed or it will die. And this is not, just bringing the main line into the Switch is not a refreshment. But sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think they can keep that core mechanics and the stats and things and just make it a different experience. I think they can keep some of that there to where it's not such a drastic change. But
they can. But it's right. It's still, at the end of the day, it's still a top-down 2D. No matter how much they dress up the 3D world, it's still the same world, just with a 3D coat of paint on it, kind of.
Yeah.
And that it's not just about breaking conventions. It's like what they did with Zelda. It's like you strip down what are the core things that make these games fun, and then you strip them down to those core components, and then you rebuild them up from scratch. And that's the only way to save Pokemon at this point. The same way is the only way to save Zelda. Like, right? Was anybody excited for the next Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess or right?
Moderately, yeah.
Everybody was excited for whatever a new Zelda is. That's one where you can say it's a new Zelda.
I didn't care. I was not excited for a new Zelda until I heard it was an open world Zelda, and then I was interested because it was something different. Because that's like, I love Skyward Sword's sword mechanic, and that's about it. Everything else about that game was like a N64 era world, right? Like the zones in Skyward Sword were about the size of the zones in Ocarina of Time, as were the zones in Twilight Princess. They just weren't. Some of the dungeons were kind of big, but like there hadn't been a significant increase in scale since the Nintendo 64 era. And that's the same thing with Pokemon, right? Even the 3D worlds, right, Jason, they get a little bigger, but like we're still playing on roughly a similar size world than as we were in the original game. I don't know. It's that as much as they dress it up, it's time to just completely start over. And yeah, like you said, keep a lot of the core pieces, but they just have to be imparted into a new modern game.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, when I first saw this game, I think my heart sunk because it's like, this is the same game I've been playing all along. Yeah, it's a new experience in some ways, but it's really the same thing.
They've changed some basic tenets, but only as far as, it feels like they merged mainline with a spinoff, basically.
Yeah.
It'd be much fresher if you weren't still playing Pokemon Go.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
If you quit playing after a month like everybody else, then you'd be like, ooh, it's got a cool catch mechanic.
No, it's
it's because it's a mishmash of Pokemon Go and everything that you're tired of from the old Pokemon series.
How does your wife feel about it, Z? Does she want to get it? Is she gonna pick it up?
I'm not interested. No, doesn't seem to care. I mentioned it, and it's like, oh, okay.
And are either of you planning on picking it up just to see what it's about?
No, I'm not. Not unless something. I would have to get some new news about it. It would have to be something different.
Well, you may. You're gonna get at least a few hours probably of Treehouse.
I'd say most of a day. Yeah.
I just mean, you know what I mean. There would have to be some new. They'd have to drop something major. Then I'd go, wow. But I can't
like
imagine.
A new Pokemon? Oh.
No, it's got, a full extensive online series of features.
Well,
like
since you've mentioned online, that's kind of been a controversial topic lately because one person involved with the game kind of spoke up and said there's not going to be online at all, and then it's like they kind of come back. I think that's what sort of spurred this interview, and he says, there is going to be online, but there's not going to be, Global Trade Station or Wonder Trade or Battle Spot. It's just going to be simple, which I'm imagining just trading, just battling. That's it.
See, but the thing is Pokemon was the closest they had to a persistent online world, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could waste hours. Like if I was watching a show or whatever, I would waste hours on Wonder Trade. Because just every 10 or 15 seconds, you just send out another crap Pokemon, and every once in a great while, I got a shiny. What did I get? A shiny something. I would occasionally get I don't know if it was hacked or what, but I'd get like a shiny legendary or something.
Yeah.
Out of Wonder Trade every once in a great while, but I would get one, and just that alone was like, it's a social component. You get a little person pops up, you see their name, their little message, right? Mm-hmm. You get their Pokemon. I would occasionally send out just vulgar named Pokemon to random poor random children around the world. But and then you get little messages on the bottom. They did their best to make it feel kind of pre-Miiverse, like a social world, right?
Yeah.
You see the little people scrolling by. Oh, these are your passersby. You can tap on one of them and buff them or trade with them or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? That's the closest they've come to a persistent online world in a game. And now this is lacking most of that. Like, really? This is the focus. This is the direction you've taken Pokemon from the beginning. And now here's this one that has none of that. So I guess it gives me more hope that the main, whatever the big next Gen 8 game is going to be a big, massive upgrade.
We can hope so.
I really hope so, because it's got to be everything that Pokemon is times 10, because it's just gotten stagnant, and we all know it. And it's either that or it dies.
If they release a Gen 8 game, which by the way, they have said it'll be latter half of next year. If they release that and it's just like the games we've got, I think they're going to kill.
Game over.
What momentum is left, because a lot of people didn't really get on board with Sun and Moon, especially when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out. That did very poorly, and as you've seen, the Japanese fans kind of revolted in a way. And I felt the same way. I just like, this is just the same game, and I don't want to play it again.
Yeah, the only reason that Sun and Moon did what it did was in the wake of Pokemon, right? Or right. Pokemon Go, I mean. Mm-hmm. Just because it had caught that buzz, and great, but it's like, oh, that's the game that that everybody chose for their return to Pokemon. I don't know, and maybe it's a fine game. It was the fourth or fifth Pokemon game in a row that I'd played, and I was, you know what I mean? I started it and was like, why am I going to play this again? I'm over this.
Same stuff.
Yeah, and the backlash they got from Ultra Sun and Moon not being different enough, I think that I hope they figured out that that's an indicator, because it's gotten to that point now where pretty much any new Pokemon game comes out, if it fits anywhere near that same format, there's going to be a backlash. Like, I don't know. It seems like the zeitgeist. It's to a point now where everyone's like, wait a minute, we've been playing the same crap for 20 years. Like, everybody seems to be figuring it out at once. I know. So we'll see what happens. But I'm cautiously optimistic that they will have learned their lesson from the Ultra Sun Moon backlash. But we'll see. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say, I know. Just talking about that, a lot of people like me and you have bought every game as it comes out. And it's like Sun and Moon came along, and there was a few said, okay, I'm going to pass. And then there were Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and it's like most everyone I know said pass. In fact, I can't think of anyone.
I can't think of anybody that picked up Ultra. No. Yeah, you're right.
That was the line in the sand.
Yeah.
Some people bought it, though.
There was one other little bit of disappointment here, and they kind of give us a better look at what will happen transferring Pokemon between Pokemon Go and into this new Let's Go series. So they're basically going to be put into a park where you can capture them, but the real incentive is to transfer lots of the same Pokemon into the park. And what's your reward? Oh, you can play mini games.
They better be really good mini games.
They better be fantastic mini games, yeah. Because, anytime transferring Pokemon or moving Pokemon between games is very time consuming. Unless they're going to make this where you can just slide them over, like instead of transferring to the professor, you can transfer them to Go.
Well, backtrack. The last few games have been a snap if you use the bank.
If you use bank, yeah.
They also haven't mentioned the bank in conjunction with this one either. So
no, they haven't, and I'm beginning to think that the fact that you can transfer Pokies between this game and Go means this isn't really going to be a mainline game. These aren't going to be Pokies that you can transfer into a mainline Pokemon game.
I agree with you.
And I think that is also why they haven't mentioned bank integration, because there just isn't going to be any. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't think it's going to be once you catch, or once you beat the the original gyms and everything. I don't think it's going to open up and it's like, oh, all of a sudden, Pokemon from Johto and Pokemon from Hoenn are appearing. I don't think that's going to happen.
You're stuck with the 151? Yeah, I bet you're right.
Have you played any of the original games?
Me?
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Yellow because I got the download, but I hadn't I didn't get into Pokemon. Like when Pokemon came out, I was already of college age. So that was crap for kids.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I started dating, my current wife, who's 9 years younger than me, that it's like, oh, Pokemon.
As opposed to your previous 3 wives.
Yeah. Right, but the current, did I say the current one?
Yeah. Was a
she doesn't know.
Yeah.
Keep your voice down.
Dude.
But I have played through Yellow, and I can say, anytime you go back, you don't realize how limiting that 151 is. You say, oh, I want a water type for my team, and then you look and there's like, oh, I can pick from 3 or 4, and it's, I don't know, I think it's a difficult game to play because of your limited options. Like, I don't know.
And that was,
I guess, doesn't play. That sounds like plenty to me.
It does, but I get what you're saying, Jason. It's like nowadays coming in as a latecomer to Pokemon. It's like when you're building out a team, you've got you pretty much have every combination and combo people. Any combination imaginable that you want, and there's plenty of options. It really is. It's kind of like modern media versus the old days. Right now every app store and every eShop and whatever is overloaded with crap, and in the old days it was like you got one game and you played the living shit out of that game for as long as you had that one game until you got the next game. So I guess it's the same kind of thing now coming into Pokemon. But I get it, like that's part of the strategy of the old game, is figuring out what kind of team you want and then actually having to go track down those Pokies to build it. Whereas nowadays it's just you collect them. You just, as you roll through the game, you got Pokemon coming out of your ass, and you just at some point you sit down and start going through your boxes and go, okay, I can make a team out of this. I can make a team out of that.
Right.
And it's just a different game, I guess, kind of, or different take on the same premise, right? When you get to a point where it's saturated.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should probably move on from Pokemon before we totally lose Mo here.
What else is there?
For the love of God. Oh,
there's nothing else to talk about.
No, that's fine. That's you. It's a big game that I have no knowledge on. You want to talk about Shuffle? I can talk about Shuffle all day.
I saw that Shuffle
got Knuckle Shuffle.
The Pokemon Shuffle.
That mobile port that you play for some reason.
Oh, it's so fun. But yeah, it's the extent of my Pokemon, and like I said, they'd really have to do something on Breath of the Wild scale to something that would. I don't know what it would take to get me into Pokemon. At this point, it just seems like I'd have to open my brain for a lot more information to store in there that I don't necessarily want.
Let me say though, if you can get into, like, because I find it surprising that you got into Animal Crossing. If you can get into Animal Crossing, Pokemon's a no-brainer, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Pokemon, that would be way more up your alley than Animal Crossing would be.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't necessarily I'm not into Animal Crossing the same way most people are, though. Like, I'm not like, oh, that animal's cute, or it's weird. I don't even know what I was into it.
I don't think anybody else is like having deep, meaningful conversations with the animals. I think everybody else is just teaching them to say whatever they can get away with through the profanity filter, and then hoping they end up in somebody else's town to say vulgar things and build shit, collect shit. Like, what else is there to Animal Crossing? Dig shit up.
But like Jason would do up his town and plot out the paths and stuff like that, and I just had like a single footstep, like long. I would make my paths just like straight lines to this is how you get around my town, but I didn't try to make them look good or anything like that. Like,
you put flowers around them and whatever, but that you also build them for efficiency. I mean, right? That's part of Animal Crossing is you make of it what you want, right? When you would get street pass towns or street pass houses, some of those houses were a friggin' disaster, and
garbage.
Some of them were fabulous. But right, everyone just kind of makes whatever they want of it.
Half of them had the original floor still.
But whether you care about the animals in your town or not is not.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't buy into the whole thing. It was I guess part of the Pokemon and Animal Crossing crossover is just the collectability of it, I guess, which I did get bit by that bug. I don't know if I ever want to dedicate that much of my life to a game like that ever again.
But if you mean like Rocket League?
Well,
because Rocket League, it's like there's a lot of collection going on.
How do I acquire this? There's some of it, yeah.
It's also a competitive game, which so is Pokemon and Animal Crossing.
If you get into the battles, then that's the thing. Like I don't know that I ever did like a random online battle in Pokemon.
I've actually been to 2 of the regional championships.
Yeah, as a player.
As a player, yeah.
Rock on, man.
They were open, anybody could go because I'm terrible, but I did go for the fun. It was neat being around that.
Yeah, it would have been fun to try. It would have been fun to do once. Yeah, totally. Back in the day. Now I just let the wife kick my ass every so often.
All right. So we do have one more little bit of business here with Pokemon. This is sort of a interesting comparison, I thought. After this big announcement with Pokemon Let's Go, Nintendo's stock went up by 4.6%. Not a lot. But then when Pokemon Go was announced, their stock
the integration, you mean?
No, previously when it first came out, stock went up 25%. So if you can use that to gauge the excitement of even investors, that's kind of saying something, I think.
Well, but bear in mind, Pokemon Go was the first, people thought, Nintendo game on a cell phone.
That's true.
Even though it wasn't technically theirs, and it also wasn't the first because Miitomo beat it, right?
Right.
But people, as far as the general public knew, holy crap, Nintendo made a phone game, and it's Pokemon. That was huge, huge news. Pokemon coming out on their new console was an expected event. And this one, we know that the core Pokemon fan base is mixed. So I don't know. I don't know what investors were looking at as far as their bellwether, but my assumption is just the fact that it's Pokemon spin-off game on a console versus as far as people thought, the first Nintendo game on a phone, and it's Pokemon. So I can see that being 5 times more exciting.
Yeah, I was 5 times more excited about Pokemon Go, and still
yes,
than I
am.
I'm
way more. I was way more excited about Pokemon, and I wasn't even all that excited about Pokemon Go, but yeah, I was many times more excited about Pokemon Go than I am about this. I don't think I'm going to buy this. I really don't.
I don't know. It's maybe for me, but yeah.
Well, see, like Detective Pikachu, right? We all thought, wow, that looks bizarre. We should check it out. I checked it out. It's a little kid's game.
Yeah.
It's a miss. I mean, it might not be terrible. The wife played some of it, but she was just like, okay, I'm over this very quickly.
Yeah.
I have not yet sat myself down and tried to play through it yet. I got too much other stuff to play. But point being, I have a feeling this is going to go the same way. I have a feeling this is really going to be a game for kids. And most of us are just not going to be into it.
I think it'll get some retro appeal, but I think they've really captured a lot of that with the 3DS games.
This is
the re-release.
I agree. Oh, yeah. You mean the re-releases of the originals?
Mm-hmm. I think
that's if they were releasing that on Switch instead of this crap, I would think that would be driving people to the Switch faster than this. You guys agree?
Probably right.
Yeah, but they sold really well in the eShop, like on 3DS.
They did on the 3DS, but again, the Switch has hit that kind of Wii zeitgeist, right? Kids all over the nation want a Switch. Kids all over the nation weren't buying 3DSs. Their parents were buying it for them because they wanted an Xbox and it was cheaper. It was, kids weren't begging for 3DSs the way they're begging for Switches. So I don't know. It's a different market, I think.
And there'll be a lot of people that will buy this and say, I want Pokemon on Switch, not knowing anything about it except it's Pokemon on Switch.
Yeah.
That logo.
Like you were saying, Mo, I think the first one will sell great before people figure out. But I don't think I'm gonna buy it, man. I am not turned on.
7 out of 10 from every site.
Oh yeah. I saw that Pokemon Quest. I saw reviews for it, and it was like 8s and 9s, and I just
that game is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had read some review on that where it was just like, if you're itching for a Pokemon, this definitely scratches that itch. I'm like, does it?
They've got a different itch than me.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. That's that. Yeah, no, I don't. Who is that aimed at? And how much longer can these outlets continue to give rave reviews? 8 and 9 stars out of 10 or whatever.
As long as Nintendo continues to advertise on their website, that's how long they'll continue to give 7.
Yeah,
7 and 8s are like the new 2s and 3s. Like,
but I mean, when was it? When did all of these sites get in the pocket of Nintendo? I mean, of anybody.
Any of the companies those companies, like let's just say, for instance, an IGN. They make their money off of ad revenue that's by these video game companies. So their whole deal is supported by these video game companies. So they never want to be too critical. They'll shit on the indies if they want.
Fair enough, I guess. I mean, I get the logic, but at the same time, so who reads these reviews and cares besides us?
Well, I bet tons of people read them.
Yeah.
Like, let's see if this is good. Well, it's a 7 out of 10, which really is like a 5 out of 10.
And then I go buy it, and it's crap. And then I go read.
If it's not broken, it's automatically a 5. Right?
My point is how many times does a person read a review that a game is great, buy it, think it's crap, and then read another review? I mean, how dumb are people? Like, how long does it take before people go, wait a minute, these sites are bullshit? Like,
yeah, I did that a lot on 3DS, especially with the eShop. I bought a little bit late. There was a lot of stuff on the eShop, and I was like, let's check out these reviews. And so like anything that was like an 8 or a 9, I was like, maybe I should check into that one.
Oh yeah, everything on. I mean, these days, more and more stuff I see have lower reviews. But remember, for a long period there, everything on the Nintendo eShop was 4.5 stars, or was 4 stars or above, basically out of 5.
You mean right? in eShop ratings?
In the in eShop ratings in on the 3DS, every game is 4.5 stars or 5 stars.
Yeah,
just everything is a fabulous game. What could be wrong with this game? Like I don't know if Nintendo fans really are just the biggest fanboys in the world, or if Nintendo was padding those reviews for a while, because now they seem a little more legit. I see things with crappy reviews on, that look crappy on the 3DS and the Wii U eShop, but in the old days, just everything was 4.5 or 5 stars.
And the other thing about reviewers too is Nintendo has really tightened down on their reviewer program or whatever, their supporter program, and I think people are afraid to leave a negative review because they want those free games to make a living off of them, and I can't blame them for that. But that also means you can't trust anything they say.
Yeah, you can't shit on them too much. You can't bite the hand that feeds you. It's like the whole idea of commercial news, but even more nefarious.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a dark path we've gone down.
Yeah, we have.
Nintendo has.
It really is Nintendo that has. This path may have been one, but Nintendo's definitely closed off the other roads, I think.
Yeah, no, they've turned evil.
But in that evil turn, the stock price that rose so sharply 4 points.
That's right. It ended up dropping, and believe it or not, it was because Quality of Life project is supposedly dead now. Who cared about that? No. Seriously.
That was booing the company, totally.
Any rumor I had ever heard about that Quality of Life was, that's something I would never buy. I think the sleep sensor was the last thing I had heard it was supposed to be.
Yeah, what investor was like, that was where the real money was? Like
who only they kept for that sleep sensor thing.
Yeah. No, they dropped that sleep sensor. I'm taking my money out of them. They're dead to me. Like
this also means Nintendo's got a really bad track record with quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
Like the what was it, the heart rate monitor or whatever that thing was?
Was that ever released?
I thought it was like the put on your fingers.
I don't think that was ever released.
No, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. They've got a bad track record for
me.
Every time they announce a quality of life, Wii Fit, really the only quality of life type thing that's ever really come out. It seems
it had to be the self-walking legs. Somebody was like, "Wait a minute, did we just fucking patent self-walking legs? What the hell is this? Why are we?
What am I doing with my life?
Why are we patenting robotic legs? This has nothing to do with our core business. We need to close this division of the company that's patenting robotic legs."
Some of us know that's related to Darth Maul. Wink, wink.
Yeah. It could also be that they're going to sell it to the government.
I think it's for the theme park.
They're going to sell
the bottom
it to the
half of the Nintendo cyborgs, the army that they're building.
You mean
Sony is rumored to be doing the torso on that? Xbox will do the head.
Together we form.
It'll be announced next E3.
No, but then at the last minute, Nintendo will pull out, and Sony will end up just building the whole thing itself, and it'll take over the market.
It sounds like a really bad...
Just a better world, really.
A really bad video game Voltron spinoff. This is...
Terminator.
Dude. Somebody needs to make exactly like a Voltron ripoff cartoon, but it's all transforming video game consoles that form up together to build the giant robot.
That sounds like Voltron seems like a Nintendo idea where they would just sell you all the individual pieces.
That is true.
Why?
They'll make the
you buy the black lion, and then you got to license the red, green, blue. Yeah.
Although you're collecting all the Joy-Con like that, it's just too bad you can't all connect them to one thing.
Yeah, that's true, and make a robot out of it.
Yeah, like a robot suit for your Labo.
I was just thinking they'll make the next Labo, and it'll be robot suit legs, robot suit arms.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, you got to buy $80 a piece.
Yeah, and you'll be Nintendo Cyborg. It'll all come together and look just like Koizumi.
He is an android.
He is one. He's not. He's very close. He's their first prototype. All right, so we should go back to the topics we're actually going to talk about.
Huh? Oh.
So the next big news really coming out for Nintendo this week was the eShop got a sort of sudden update. No big deal has really been made out of it, but they've added a feature section.
They made a big deal about Shaq Fu. What are you talking about? Well, that's not the update you're talking about. Okay, never mind.
No, I'm talking about the actual update to the UI. So they added a featured section, great deals, and now basically the charts show 30 games, right?
Well, deals is now great deals. They weren't selling enough, so they were like, "Hey, if we throw the word great on there,
these deals are great."
Yeah. And they've expanded the best sellers now. You can see 30 of them instead of 20. So, but the featured is we've even talked about that before, about just how lost crap gets. So now there's at least a featured tab where you can kind of see some stuff, but it's
stuff that they want you to see.
Yeah, it's like you said,
they're featuring
1-2 Switch is on there. That's a featured game.
Wow.
And that I still am surprised that Fast, is it RMX Racing? That was like a launch title. Like that's not been on sale. Like hasn't even Breath of the Wild gone on sale? Maybe at some point or some aspect.
I don't think so.
No,
maybe not. But the Fast RMX, there's no reason that shouldn't have been on sale at some point during the last year and a half or whatever it is, year and 3 months.
That is an odd one not to have a discount.
Because that one's just been buried ever since it came out. Like as soon as other stuff started coming out. But
if they had categories, like I don't know how many they got a bunch of racing games, but if they just had genres, man, or something.
Yeah.
They have added the feature to where if you like a game by a developer, you can look at that developer's other games, which is kind of neat, but I don't know of a use off the top of my head that I would use that for.
Yeah, there's very few people that are 100% all the time.
Yeah.
But it's something that we should have had before now.
Yes. Should have been day one.
They're slightly curating it a little bit now, kind of, almost.
They did something.
It's better than nothing, I guess. That's the Nintendo way. Something is better than nothing. But you can't really complain about it. It's all fairly positive. It's just
so
whatever.
Random interesting point of note. Well, it did just come out. Shaq Fu is only number 7, yet I know a lot of people got it for free. That doesn't say very good things about it selling, about how it's selling.
It was for buying NBA Playgrounds, right?
Yeah, if you bought NBA Playgrounds back when it was broken, you got Shaq Fu for free. And my opinion, it's a better game. It's a $20 game, which seems slightly pricey, I guess. But hey, I paid $20 for NBA Playgrounds, so I basically got 2 for the price of 1. And I've played enough of it so far to say it's a competent game. It's polished. It's nice. It's it's got full voice acting. Shaq does his own voice, and at least I think it's Shaq. I haven't checked the credits to be sure. It sounds like he's
sure it is.
I'm sure it is. It's the only reason I question it is because he sounds way more alert than Shaq usually does during any interview that you see with him these days. But yeah, it's actually it's pretty cool. And I'm, a couple of my other friends that got it for free as well agree. They're like, wow, this isn't crap. This is actually kind of cool. It's a little beat 'em up. It's kind of like Double Dragon, but as far as I can tell, it's only single player. And I think you said there was a little bit of sameness to the bad guys just from what you saw, Mo. And
just from the screenshots.
I'll agree to that. But outside of that, it's otherwise, so far.
That's what a beat 'em up is, and Double Dragon, Final Fight. It's all the same enemies that just keep reappearing on different levels.
Yeah. The base guys are all the same. There's occasional bosses and different oddball guys, but yeah, there's just a ton of dudes in little coolie hats chasing you. It's not terrible. I'll play more of it. I think I like it better than Curse of the Moon, which is of course the Bloodstained spin-off game that I also got for free because I was a Kickstarter on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which who knows when the hell that's ever going to come out. But hey, they gave me something.
We actually
TBD. Oh. Yeah. It's coming out later this year, we think.
Yeah, it should be. It does look like it's like they've got enough game there now that I'm not scared nothing's going to come out anymore. But everyone was kind of starting to get that way for the first 2 years.
2 years, yeah.
They'd be like, oh, hey, here's more fan art. That's all the update we've got for you this month. Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
I was going to say, we did get some information about Bloodstained Curse of the Moon. And there was a tweet that went up that said it had been downloaded 100,000 times, and then it was removed later on. So I don't know if that figure is accurate. But it has said that 56% of sales has been on Switch.
And it's number 1 on the eShop right now. So, it's doing well.
That's definitely a perfect game for a Nintendo audience,
Yeah.
Like,
I found it.
It is.
That is the Nintendo audience's NES style games.
And again, Inti Creates has kind of made their name with these 8-bit reboots, and it's a solid one, right? It plays as good as you remember Castlevania playing, which is to say, way better than the original Castlevania's ever played. So yeah, it's smooth, it's polished. I've played back through. Jason, you watched me play. I streamed some of it on Steam when I had the little demo copy. I've played back Twitch. Through on Steam to Twitch, direct to you. Yes. But I've played back through that part and continued on a little further now, and I like it. I'm getting a little better at the controls. There's a little more variability and a little more strategy to the controls and the gameplay. It's not as clunky as it initially feels, which is to say not as clunky as the original Castlevania so much. There's some tricks to it, but they're honestly, both of those I'm pleasantly surprised they're better than some of the games I paid $20 for. But I'm happy with them both.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just jam a review in there of a couple games.
The Bloodstained one definitely looks cool to me.
Yeah. How much is it in the eShop? Just curious.
I think Bloodstained's $10, isn't it?
Or 15 maybe.
Let's see.
10?
Thought it was 10.
Won't show for you. It could be.
Oh, you're right. It won't show for me because I own it.
Yeah.
But while you guys are searching, I'll also just highlight Blaster Master Zero. If you're a fan of the old series, I put some good time into that one as well. Another Inti Creates 8-bitter, and it's also really good, very polished.
It has a demo, I believe, in the eShop. So.
And on 3DS.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one's available over there too.
But yeah, which they both are, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah. That also surprised me when I had my little backer survey thing, and it's like, what would you like this game on? And it's like, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff here. 3DSs and no Wii U though, of course.
No, sadly.
That console's in hell already as far as anybody's concerned.
It does not exist. Oh.
That's right.
Let's see. I'm trying to look up it is $10. You're right.
Nice.
So
it's not bad.
Fair, reasonable.
$20, I think, is pushing it for Shaq Fu. They should have shot for 15. I think 15 would be reasonable.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, yeah.
$20, you're really getting into, you're questioning what you're buying more. Do I really want this game?
Yeah, it's got to be something that you're going to spend real time with. Whereas $10 can be an impulse purchase. That's less than a movie ticket, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. They're trying to trade on the subject. Again, it's obviously well produced. It's fully voice acted. It's pretty. It's well done. But it's same time, it's just a side-scrolling beat 'em up. So it is what it is.
Your move, Barkley. No one will get that joke. Beyond a certain age. Well, I guess he's still on TV too. The kids might know him. He's got a great golf swing. Check it out on YouTube.
All right. So speaking of online purchases and $20, actually, Nintendo Switch Online pre-orders are available on Amazon in UK and Germany.
Ooh, absolutely necessary. I would hate for them to sell out of that online service and not be able to get online when it launches.
But it would be Nintendo. It would be Nintendo to say, okay, there's 100,000 reservations for online service, and that's all we're going to put out.
If they were smart, that's what they should do, because they're going to.
They'll do that. They'll watch.
You don't want all that traffic on the same. I know. Well, the thing is, everybody's going to be going online to test this thing out day one. They're going to crash. It's going to be like Christmas with the Wii U. They're going to crash the network. So everybody's going online to test.
It would totally be in Nintendo's wheelhouse to be like, okay, there will be 5 people we'll let in a day.
Yeah.
And if you show up naked at Nintendo headquarters and completely humiliate yourself for a home YouTube audience, we might let you in.
Yeah, I kind of wonder if because I really don't expect that they're going to update anything on their side once this happens. Like, I feel like they're just going to keep it.
There's no way they're not going live with a huge server farm somewhere. They have to be. They have to be. And they have to be. There's also, I know Nintendo's in a weird position because they have always been the company that didn't charge for online. And granted, the online was limited, but they never charged for it. Now they're going to feel like they need, and rightfully so, they feel like they need to show something for the $20 they're asking for, as opposed to just the same online service in Splatoon we've already gotten, or the same, or the balloon hunt in Mario. They need to show for it, and it's going to require back-end hardware. It's going to require data centers and server farms and teams of people managing it. It's just going to, and there's no way around it. They need to jump into the 21st century. I don't think that it's possible that they could be going forward without that kind of thing in place. What's on those servers, what they're going to be doing with them, who knows? But there has to be infrastructure going in for $20 a month or $20 a year, even a year. Even though that's cheap, there has to be infrastructure going in, or there's no return on investment for the customer, and we're going to figure that out very quick as stuff crashes on day one, as you say.
Yeah, Nintendo's going to Nintendo it somehow.
We'll see how that is. I agree. They'll screw something up.
You can get a legitimate Nintendo online experience without something.
Without some level of disappointment, yeah.
Yeah. I still remember the Wii U playing Smash Brothers at 5 frames a second. Like, just watching my character shoot from one side to the other. So,
wait, what?
We'll see. Did you ever play Smash online on Wii U?
Oh, online. Not much.
I mean, I didn't play it a ton, but it was like laggy as hell.
Literally, I played a few rounds literally, and I don't remember. I don't remember the
At least
experience.
I
Unless
had
it blocked
issues.
it out. I probably lasted about 3 seconds, and therefore didn't have time to experience lag.
Yeah.
What
I look forward to not playing the new one online.
Yeah. Sorry. I find that I am at the very lowest tier of online players in Smash, and I do not enjoy getting beat by anyone and everyone. Playing the computer is perfectly fine, but
it's like if you know how to do like wave dash stuff and like where you skip frames of animation, it's like I don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
In fact, if you know what the name of moves are called in Smash Brothers, I really don't want anything to do with you.
That's true. If you know any more than just what button it is,
yeah.
We love Smash Brothers.
If you
online are too good at everything.
If you camp the edge and actually know what the fuck to do to prevent somebody from getting back, then I don't want to play with you.
Yeah.
But we can all play with each other. Seems like we're all on the
same level.
Terrible. Same level of terrible.
I don't know. We'll see.
When it comes, who's going to end up getting Smash on Switch? You think? I am because
I'm probably one of.
It's kind of the requisite. I mean, I don't know. Like for me, it's once or twice a year I have some kind of family gathering where it's the requisite party game. But other than that, that's all it will get played. But it's just I have to have it for that reason. But we should all get on and play sometime if we're all going to get it.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Maybe someday one of us will have Twitch streaming and we actually can record our humiliation for our audience to watch. And
well, if
30 seconds
ever actually does it, yeah. If Nintendo just allows for Twitch streaming.
Yeah,
I see, and again, that kind of stuff could be the kinds of things that they would offer with an online service, but we're just guessing right now. We have no idea. Because, there will be certain things Nintendo will offer that will go, wow, I can't believe Nintendo's doing that. And then there will be other things that will be like, wow, how the hell
I can't believe Nintendo's doing that.
Well, you know what I mean? Yeah. There'll be certain things that it's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. That's really forward thinking because that's Nintendo. They'll do a couple things that are like, wow, that's amazing. And then they'll do a few things alongside it that it's like, are you fucking kidding me?
You're adding online functionality to Balloon Fight?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a real thing.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then they'll roll out just a stupid ass idea right alongside a brilliant one. And it's like, is there nobody there? Like every idea at Nintendo is equally valid. It seems like there's nobody there that goes, wait a minute, that's stupid.
Balloon Fight online, show of hands?
What a great idea! Yeah, that's a popular game.
They could have done that just with a My Nintendo survey. Like, probably would play it, might play it, have no interest. They'd be like, wow, it's 90% no interest.
That'll be the first thing they offer. Watch, because it'll be
I think that might be an Iwata thing. Like, it might be a tribute to Iwata since that's a game that he was involved in a lot. That they want to keep that alive.
Was that Iwata's game?
Yeah. So
I thought Iwata was at HAL during that time.
I think he went to HAL a little bit later.
Really?
Because he was. I don't even know if I heard about HAL. I'm not sure. I know that he did some coding on Balloon Fight. I know he started at Nintendo, and then I think he went to HAL and became like president of HAL, or worked his way up at HAL, and then HAL got kind of consumed by Nintendo again.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
But either way, I think that's what's keeping that game alive. I still wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that in Smash, a balloon fighter.
It's just, but it's a known thing with Nintendo that they release the rinky-dink stuff first because people will buy it because they know there's nothing else available, right? That's why they always release Mario Brothers before they release Super Mario Brothers. Or on the eShops, on every version of the eShops, they would always release the vanilla Street Fighter 2 before they would release Street Fighter 2 Turbo, just to catch the suckers, right? which I was one on the Wii.
Yeah.
In the Wii era, I bought the first one, and then immediately after I bought it, Turbo came out, and it's like, you bastards! All right, I'll buy them both.
Some of those people bought it on Switch too. Oh.
Those are arcade ports. Those are arcade ports. Are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the first one. You're safe this time.
Oh, okay. Now, see, this one's a legitimate arcade port collection, but that first one, I don't know what kind of sucker would buy that.
I don't know, probably the same kind of person that would put a bunch of money into a badge arcade.
Yeah,
probably
something like $828.
Yeah, probably.
But hey, if you wanted Street Fighter at the time and had the money to burn,
and he does say he listens to the ones he's not in. So
yeah, we'll see. So
you can just guess who is not here with us tonight.
We know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
We don't need any guy. He'll figure it out.
Yeah. I wonder if the price. Do you think the price of that's gonna drop now? Is there of the first Street Fighter game that came out?
Oh, dude,
on Switch.
Now probably not. I think they'll just bury it. Like everything is already buried.
It'll just disappear.
It'll just disappear for a while, but then after people have forgotten about the 30th anniversary edition, that one will pop up on sale real cheap. You know, a month or two before the other one pops up on sale real cheap. But the Street Fighter 4 on 3DS would it just started a regular rotation. Like every other week, it's down to $5, right?
Right.
I assume these will eventually get to that point also, where it's just Capcom's just trying to catch any last stragglers that haven't bought it yet, and then it'll be in a humble bundle,
Yeah.
Like the first one was, or like 4 was on 3DS. I mean, anyway.
I don't know if I guess I'm trying to think if I've got a copy. I guess I've got it on Game Boy Advance. Like, do I have a Street Fighter 2? I don't know that I have it on Super NES.
No, I don't think I have a copy.
There's I
don't think I have a copy.
I know I've got a GBA one called Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Revival, which was the thing.
That's not one you see in collections.
No, this was like a remaster or something of Turbo, maybe.
See, GBA only had shoulder buttons and an A and a B, right? It didn't have 4 face buttons.
Right. Yep.
So how did you do your other moves in that Street Fighter game?
I don't know.
Probably had to like hold select.
I think like A and B. I think it was just basically like a strong punch, weak punch, or whatever. Strong kick, weak kick, and then maybe select or something to block or do something stupid. Because they could also incorporate select into some games. But I think that's the way it is. I don't know. How did we get talking about Street Fighter?
I don't know.
Reeling it back in.
Yeah, so moving it back in, talking about weird things that Nintendo does. This I just heard of today, and I thought it was really weird. So apparently, Nintendo has partnered with Anker for some power banks, which you can get officially branded Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, with a logo.
Yeah, with a logo. One of them's engraved, and I think the other one's printed on it.
See, Nintendo planned all this console bricking so that they could come out and sell. Ooh, people will want to buy the official Nintendo branded one because they know that won't brick.
Watch these brick the Switch.
I know, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, me either. They're still cool looking, and if I didn't think it would brick my Switch, I wouldn't mind having one. Of course, like I said, they are Japan only. So,
oh, are they?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I like Anker, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've kind of been one of those companies that just, it seems like they came up on Amazon, but I have a bunch of random Anker, like, computer adapter type parts and stuff like that, and they're all
they're big quality. for the battery stuff is kind of their bread and butter, but they also do like Bluetooth speakers. They were the ones who did the line of Pokemon Bluetooth speakers a while back that nobody probably knew about.
Those are really nice, by the way. If you haven't seen them, Google
some fancy.
Pictures. Wish I had some.
So, yeah, power banks. It's safe again, maybe.
Oh, if only.
Nintendo official.
Yeah, surely they are. It'll be interesting. We'll have to watch the news for a while and see if anything comes up about them. So, moving on to a game which we never mentioned on the podcast, Splatoon. I mean, we don't play that. So, if you've been in the plaza recently in Splatoon 2, you know there has been hackers hacking Octolings into playable as online. So, really surprised by this. Nintendo took action and banned them from all of Splatoon 2's online services. Those who have hacked.
Cold-blooded.
Yes.
They got what they deserved. I mean, that's the way you send a message.
Yeah. I don't think they ever did anything. Did they ever deal with the ones from Splatoon 1? Of course, I know that wasn't very
I don't know that they even had the means to. You know, and I never ran into any in Splatoon 1 or 2, but I know in Splatoon 1 that people were saying, like, if you ran into one in the game, it would mess up your save data or something in the first game on Wii U. People were like, I was playing and there was a playable Octoling, and the next thing I knew, my save file was corrupted or something. So I don't know. But I think Nintendo has to do stuff like that to discourage hacking. I mean, anytime you do anything hack-wise, I still wonder how they caught them. If they did it on their own or if they had to rely on people reporting them in the Nintendo app.
Oh, that would be a kind of a sad way to depend on people. I don't know. I'm curious how many people use the app and report people, because it's not very clear on how to do so.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, it's intentionally kludgy and buried. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with policing.
That being said, I think we all have reported someone, right? At least once.
I have. Once you told me there was an option for it, yeah. Squid Party. That's my reason.
That's the only reason. Inactivity. All right, so
I can't remember, is hacking an option?
it'd be under probably like inappropriate or harmful or something like that. I don't know.
Cheating.
I don't know.
I imagine those reports go straight to a garbage can.
I would imagine, yeah.
I assume that those reports go nowhere unless you get so many of them within a certain time frame, and then it triggers something. What? Who knows?
I'm going to report Jason next time as playing as an Octoling and see what happens to either of us.
You should just report another account, not mine, because I'm not an Octoling, nor would I, unless I bought the DLC.
Z has.
Report your alt and see if Nintendo figures it out. Oh, speaking of which, the online service. If you want to play with your alts, you need a family account, right?
Yep.
We all have an alternate character for Splatoon, at least, I think.
Yeah.
Or we did in person.
Well, and it's an alternate account. I mean, for various purposes. Yeah, for regions and whatever. Ooh, that's the other thing is, if your account is in a different region.
That's a good question.
It probably can't be on your family.
I've debated that. We've debated that before. If you need to have, you have to buy the online service in that region for that account.
Yeah.
It's really complicated.
I'm assuming, I'm just planning to get a family account because, I have the wife that may occasionally play and, I'll have an alt. That's 3 right there.
But even on the accounts, if they don't have the online service, they can still access the eShop, right?
Right. Yep.
So we have Japanese
and that sweet news section.
Is that Oh yeah. So we can still get demos from Japan or buy games from Japan if we wanted to.
So the question
you might not be able to participate in like the Mario Tennis thing that just happened, or
that's
Global
true.
Test Fire.
I would imagine those would still be public, but maybe not.
Yeah, if they were smart.
Oh,
it would seem like that's advertising ultimately. But
right.
We haven't talked about Mario Tennis, have we?
We haven't.
Oh, we definitely need to talk about Mario Tennis.
Some people, I did not take it online, but
I didn't either.
I did.
Had complained about the online being a little bit laggy, and it kind of brought up the debate about the online that would have tied into that. But were you done with Splatoon? I think we were, right?
Yeah, I think we covered it.
Nintendo's banning people. All right. Yeah, but the Mario Tennis, I mean, it was okay. It seemed like there sure was a lot of controls in there.
Oh wow, was it ever complicated? And that's why I lost. I played online and I generally lost because they'd pull off a super move and I'm still trying to remember what button to push.
Yeah, it's like I don't know how many times I lost when I saw there's a little star that appears on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd press, I think it was the R button that was supposed to do it, but it's like I wouldn't be perfectly within the star, I guess, and the ball would just go by, and trying to figure out like what am I doing that's giving the opponent the stars, and the opponent's doing trick shots left and right. Sometimes my trick shot would get it, sometimes it wouldn't. It's like a lot going on there. It's like ARMS. It's a legitimate competitive gaming experience.
Well, but it's more complicated. Like ARMS, yeah. I think is simple and accessible to at least to a degree with the motion controls and stuff. A sports game is supposed to be accessible. That's right.
Yeah.
And this is not. This is
like a fighting game disguised as a tennis game.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, with combos and that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, it's not, and I guess
with a little bit of a puzzler thrown in there.
I mean, how do you jazz up tennis? I mean, I give you that, right? It needs something.
Yeah. But they did say in the original reveal that there would be a basic mode as well for people who just want to play regular ass tennis, which I think Jason and I both said would appeal to us much more.
Yeah, but
just give me a hit button.
But then I wouldn't pay $60 though for a game just to play a regular ass game of tennis. You know what I mean?
Especially since you're going to get it for free on the Nintendo Online service.
Wait, what?
Regular ass tennis.
Oh, yeah. Nintendo tennis.
Yeah.
NES tennis.
Yeah. Black box tennis. That's going to eat into sales. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was like all Nintendo games. It was decent enough. It looked okay. It seemed like if you knew what I think the thing is they throw you into a tutorial where they teach you every move in the game, and then you finally start a match and you're like, wait, what? What's what? Like
the R stick one was the hardest one for me, playing in handheld. And you could also press it the wrong way, and it would just like, instead of going towards the ball to hit it, it would dart to the other side of the screen, and it's not great.
I mean, it did what you told it to do, even if you didn't mean to tell it to do that.
Right. Did anyone unlock a character, by the way?
I did not.
I did not put that much time into it.
I think I ended up with like 10 points before I was like, I'm done with this. Screw this game.
I made it to the first unlock. And it was Waluigi, who was actually pretty good.
That's cool. At least it's Waluigi. That's a fun character.
And your data will supposedly carry over into the full game when you buy it. So you'll already have Waluigi unlocked for yourself.
And you also get the classic Mario costume, right?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
If you played the
pre-order bonus or something, yeah.
Oh, I uninstalled the demo, but it probably keeps my save data. Not that there's any way in hell I'm buying that game.
Well, I'm not either. Don't imply that I'm buying it because I do not intend to.
But I don't know if you're into that, and I haven't really played the other Mario Tennis games, so I don't know how that stacks up or compares. But
and again, it's by and neither have I really, but it's by Camelot, who makes those pretty cool Mario Golf games.
Yeah. It seemed like if I had known what I was doing, it was a competent enough game. 6 out of 10. Oh.
Yeah, if it's something that interests you and you didn't get to play the demo, I would I would encourage you to look at some videos or something. It was way more complicated than I ever expected it to be.
Yeah, just the opening tutorial enough was. It's like they just delivered you so much information, so rapid fire. Then when the game starts, you're just like, I feel like I shouldn't be getting my ass kicked by the first opponent, but I clearly am. I'm doing something wrong.
All right. Well, moving on. I know there is a topic that Z wanted to talk about and bring up, and that is something we've covered multiple times before on the podcast. That's the Atari VCS. So I think we got a confirmation of the release date for July of next year. They're
yeah,
and they're working on indie developer partnerships. So I really liked how it was set up for the indies. So developers make a proposal, and then Atari will take a unspecified amount of sales. What a great deal! But
they'll pay you in Bitcoin. Atari Bitcoin.
I don't know what the Indiegogo's up to. It's just surprising that it really. I keep feeling like we're going to find out it's a scam. They really didn't get.
Yeah, but it seems like people are pre-ordering this thing in droves, though.
Unless it's like one person that dropped like, 1.5 million or something, and that's padding all the numbers. I don't know, but I can't.
Martin Shkreli's ordering them from prison.
Maybe. I don't
like the Wu-Tang album.
Yeah. Who the hell's buying these? Like I mean, it's not crazy expensive if you're buying the base one, I suppose, but it's again, you're buying something sight unseen. Who the hell?
Maybe all these people are just buying them because they want to be in on the class action lawsuit when it eventually happens.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they figure they're gonna get more money, make money back. I don't know. I don't like me. I was super excited. I wanted this to be, the magic Atari box that does everything, and it sounds like it's gonna be not that by a long shot. And so you know what I mean. I'm kind of disappointed in what I've seen from them so far, and I don't have any faith in this.
But if you get it now, you have till July to cancel, right? Like you'd have until hypothetically it releases to cancel.
I have to see, where that is. Usually I don't know. I've never done Indiegogo. Usually on like Kickstarter, there was some kind of option to back out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And again, I don't. Like, I've never put anything. I've put like $25 down on Kickstarter, and that felt like a lot.
Yeah.
I'll just take a look at the Indiegogo page, and they are up to $2,696,977 from 10,306 backers. Wow.
Yeah.
Almost $3 million, and there's still 23 days left as of our recording date. So,
maybe I might get suckered in between now and then. I mean,
it's still a niche market.
I really want it to be. Here's the thing: if it were just a really cool Roku that played Atari games and let me run whatever's Linux compatible through Steam, all right, I might drop $200 for that. Like Atari aside, if it's just a really good, streaming box that covers pretty much everything Roku does, plus has some gaming and actual computer capabilities, I might be on board with this. But it's just everything this company has shown, this whatever Atari, this company now calling itself Atari, has shown has been nothing, has been vapor, you show up at a game developer conference with an empty 3D printed mock-up. Are you fucking kidding me? That's not acceptable. That's in no way shows me as somebody who's worked in the IT industry for 20 plus years that you're remotely serious about this. So you guys too. We've all seen some weird stuff come and go from little rinky-dink companies, and this just smells like that.
Yeah.
It does.
doesn't have the clout that the Atari name would imply.
Mm-mm. And they haven't pulled anything out of their ass to get anybody's attention. The only thing that's gotten any attention is the fact that it's Atari making a console.
A name on the logo.
Oh, well,
he was gonna say it's got a joystick.
It does have a fancy looking joystick. But I interrupted you, Jason.
I was just going to say I just liked on the Indiegogo page how it listed it as perks, and the perks are actually buying the console and buying the fancy joystick and everything. Yeah. Like, wow, you can invest in this and then you can buy the console.
What a deal!
What a deal! That's the deal of the day right there.
That's asinine. And again, you know what I mean. If there was one newsworthy thing that they had produced so far, or some unique piece of technology that
show us a demo. Something.
But just
show us an exclusive piece of software.
Yeah.
But and it's like they haven't announced, like, you know what I mean? There's usually, we got some secret sauce here. No, like they have not given any indication that there is any secret. They said, Tempest 4000. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. But we'll see. Maybe I'll get suckered.
Could be great.
It could be, but could be.
Could be, yeah.
All right. Moving on in other weird news, I thought this was kind of a weird turn of events. I know we're all big fans of Octopath Traveler here. We just eat the demo alive. And Square Enix has now said... Yeah, that was sarcasm there.
I know.
So Square Enix has now said, if Octopath Traveler does well on Switch, which apparently they are hoping it will, that they're going to go ahead and make that into the Square Enix Switch division. And it says they already have games in works. So, it's kind of good news. It's good to hear third-party support.
They could cancel at a moment's notice. No, I actually have heard some people say that they've enjoyed Octopath Traveler's demo and put many hours into it. So, somebody out there likes it. Like I said, I really want to like the art style and stuff, but the game is more.
Yeah, that's the thing. The art style is very cool. I did like the look of the game, but right when we all saw it in the preview, we're like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool. Let's check that out." We all tried.
I liked it more in the trailer than the demo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here's the thing: if they're making a special division to just do Switch games, that means what that means. Well, yeah, but that also means that their big games are probably not coming here. That's what that says to me. We're making. It's kind of like making a special division for 3DS games, because that's got to be its own thing.
We're making a Switch exclusive the same division.
Way. There was a quote here from Tomoya Asano, who is the division director, and he says, "Please pick up the Switch if you want to play games like Octopath Traveler." I thought that was great.
Or don't. See if we care.
Yeah. Anyway, I know we weren't very excited about it, but I am happy to hear that Square's planning on bringing more games, even if it isn't.
Yeah, I mean they're a heavy hitter in the RPG world, and Nintendo fans are definitely RPG lovers. So
and one can assume quality at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's
whether it's your style of game or you like it. Yeah, like I don't tend to like any of their games, but that's just not my genre.
All right, so tonight we'll wrap up with, of course, the Jurassic Park tease, which I made earlier on, and that is some good news. I think at least me and Max are both excited about that. No, she's not here to speak for herself, but Rocket League is getting a Jurassic Park, or rather a Jurassic World DLC bundle, which is going to have items for the car and some pretty sweet-looking Jeeps that you can drive while play the game with. So.
Yeah, Jeep with an Octane hitbox.
I'm very happy to hear about that. I was afraid it'd be one of the bigger cars, so I can handle it.
And it's got a sweet T-Rex goal explosion.
That looks pretty sick. If you haven't seen it, look up the video.
Psyonix did say that could be used with any car, which is nice because when they did the Superman versus Batman Dawn of Justice Batmobile, and it has a sweet Batman goal explosion, but you can only equip it with that specific Batmobile. If you use any of the other 2 Batmobiles that are now in the game, you can't equip the Batman goal explosion with those either. It's just tied to the one car, so it's nice that they made this at least not tied to a specific car. But yeah, it'll probably be like $3 or $5 or something, and it'll be a neat little addition. That means they gotta have, and they have the Jeep logo too, so Jeep is somehow involved with it at least now.
That's one thing I like about Rocket League. They don't just do cars that sort of look like that car. They actually get the official license. I know they've got a Dodge Charger in there too, the DeLorean.
But yeah, the Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious. They got the DeLorean.
The Nissan Skyline.
Yeah. So
good stuff.
Kind of nice.
And we also got news of a couple of other events going on. The newest event is the Double Painted Drop Weekend, which is coming up this weekend. Which way we understand is basically you watch what is it called? The
championships, basically the Rocket League competitive esports.
Land On, is that how they're calling it or something? Like it's
oh yeah, because it's in London.
Yeah.
And you watch it on Twitch. You can link your Nintendo account via the game to Twitch and on the Rocket League website, and then as you watch, you might randomly just get drops for items that will appear in your game that you get to keep, whether they're wheels or trails or just little knickknacks, which is what
you don't have to be playing. You're just logged into the login screen.
You just got to be. You don't even have to be. You don't have to have the game booted at all. You just have to be watching on Twitch and have previously linked your game.
And then if you log in later, it'll be Gotcha.
So usually what I do is I pop it up and I put it on mute and I just let it play, and every few hours or so I'll log into Rocket League to see if I got any drops. And I've got like 4 or so, I think.
Awesome.
In the times that I've done that. So I'll take free crap.
I've done this. I was only in Rocket League for the one previous to this, and I say I had either my phone or my computer open to Twitch with this playing for about 90% of it, and I didn't get anything. So it seems to be very hit and miss.
It can go 4 to 6 hours, or and I've had full days where I've gone and not gotten a single drop, and then I had one day where I actually did get 2 drops. So that's nice. And then
this is over 3 days over the weekend, right?
Yeah. I think it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So
how much bandwidth, like worldwide, are they wasting people to get just a couple drops?
For people who don't even care, they just want a goofy muffin to put on top of their car.
Yeah, and it gets them viewers.
Would anyone watch otherwise?
Some people would. I mean, there's people who legitimately watch it.
As many.
Not us.
It would be a few thousand people, and this will be like
a few hundred.
Probably a few hundred people, and this will be
that's the fun thing. If there was nothing in it except for watching the competition,
50,000, let's say.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I might turn it on for a minute or something just to see it, and then no.
It's always cool to watch people play a certain game at the height of that skill level as high as you can get, but I'm still not into watching competitive gaming. No. It doesn't do anything for me. But there's that. And there's a summer event as well in game.
Part of the Salty Shores update, right?
Yep. So now that it's summer, they're gonna have some like beach themed stuff. It looks like it'll be, and of course, you can earn decryptors, so you can open the loot crates without actually paying money. The loot boxes. I always call it loot crate. They should just sponsor us already.
There should be a loot crate, loot box.
Yeah, in the game.
I thought they were called loot crates.
They're just called crates, right?
Crates, yeah.
Well, they all have like a name, like
Player's
Choice or Turbo or whatever.
Yeah.
But But yeah, the crates in the game, which you normally would have to pay $1 to open, you can. I think usually you can get up to 3 free decryptors through gameplay. So,
and there'll be special crates too for the event.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, that'll be a spring one. I saw there was they teased in the Salty Shores video. There's a beach ball goal explosion where just a bunch of beach balls fly out of the goal once you score. So fun little wholesome stuff like that.
Yeah, good stuff. It adds to the game.
Yeah.
No hot dogs.
It gives you a reason to go back in. I've got a Mr. Hot Dog topper for my car.
No, but a hot dog goal explosion.
Oh, no, not yet. That'd be awesome though.
Flying out.
Especially if they didn't, especially if they weren't in buns or anything.
That's what I mean. Yeah, just bare floppy, soggy hot dogs.
Flippity flopping hot dogs. I'd be down for that. You can go on Reddit and make a suggestion to them. They're pretty receptive on Reddit. So
beach theme.
Let them know you want to see some sausages flying.
And on that,
call it sausage party.
No, on that, I think it is definitely time to wrap up for the week.
I believe so.
But before we wrap up, I do want to mention this will probably be coming up a bit late for you, so I apologize if you are one of our early listeners and are looking forward to hearing us as soon as you can. We love you guys, but it may be a little late. And we also will have something very special coming up for you, a bonus episode coming up this set up for Monday, our E3 predictions. So if you want to get in on the action, hit us up on Twitter or here on YouTube. Let us know what your E3 predictions are, and then you can listen in on Monday and find out how different they are from ours, because we've got some pretty far-fetched ones on there.
Yeah. And then you just tune in the next day and to the Nintendo presentation and find out how right or wrong we were.
That's right. And, of course, we'll be bringing you coverage of that as well, because we love E3 here at the podcast.
Yeah, it's our Christmas.
That's right. All right, well, thanks a lot for watching and sticking out with us. So glad you did. As always, you can hit us up here on YouTube and watch us there, or you can also watch on iTunes and Stitcher. And, of course, hit us up on Twitter at NOA_podcast. We'd be glad to hear from you. Thanks for being next week.
Have a good night.
Party on, folks.